Have you ever wondered how many times throughout your day you repeat ideas, opinions, and beliefs that aren't even truly yours? How often do you act, speak, and choose paths based on what society, family, friends, or even your own insecurities have put into your mind? This automatic repetition, which seems so natural, might be silently destroying something essential: your freedom. The freedom to be who you really are, without masks, without chains. Mary Esther Harding, one of the great pioneers in studying the female psyche and a direct disciple of Carl Jung, warns us of the danger of living a life dominated by the reproduction of imposed patterns and beliefs without ever questioning or reflecting. She shows us that by repeating unconsciously, we give up our authentic voice, our critical capacity, and the power of choice that each of us has, but that few truly exercise. Let's be honest. How many times have you found yourself saying yes when you wanted to say no? How many times have you agreed with opinions that don't reflect what you really think, just to avoid conflicts or seem acceptable? Maybe you accepted a job, a relationship, or a lifestyle simply because it seemed right, or because it was expected. How many times have you swallowed your truth, your desire, just to fit in, to be loved, to not feel alone? This repetition, so common, is a kind of invisible prison. It imprisons the soul, causes identity to get lost in a sea of other voices, creating a deep disconnection with yourself. The worst part is that many times this prison isn't even noticed. It works slowly, corroding emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom without us realizing it until it's already very hard to break free. Hannah Arendt, one of the greatest philosophers of the 20th century, spoke about what she called the banality of evil. What does this mean? It means the danger of accepting things as they are, without questioning, without reflecting, without taking responsibility for our actions. Living on autopilot, following orders, reproducing speeches and behaviours without thinking, is the path to alienation and loss of freedom. Arendt showed that critical thinking and the courage to act according to conscience are the foundations of true freedom. Repeating what you're told may seem like an easy path. It avoids discomfort, conflicts, the fear of rejection, but it's a path that leads to the death of authenticity. Thinking for yourself, on the other hand, requires courage. Courage to face the unknown within yourself, to confront your fears, to take responsibility for your choices, even if they cause rupture with what is comfortable and familiar. Mary Esther Harding taught that this courage involves a deep process of self-knowledge, where it's necessary to break with automatic repetitions and look inward, to the unconscious, to desires, pains, fears, and needs that were repressed or ignored. This reunion with the inner voice, often silenced by social and cultural norms, is essential for freedom, especially for women who historically have faced greater pressure to fit into restrictive and limiting roles. When that inner voice is silenced, the price is high. Anxiety, existential emptiness, a sense of being lost and directionless. Life becomes an empty routine, a performance where the true self is hidden, suffocated by the masks we wear to socially survive. Freedom, then, is not a luxury, but an urgent necessity for life to have meaning, for the soul to feel alive. Let's bring this to more tangible examples. In the family environment, have you ever accepted without questioning rules like a woman must be kind and obedient, you shouldn't question elders, or always be strong, don't show weakness? These are external voices that often suffocate your authenticity. At work, how many times have you accepted tasks, positions, or opinions that don't reflect your true potential or will, just to avoid conflict or maintain stability? In relationships and friendships, have you ever suppressed your opinions, desires, and feelings to avoid fights, rejection, or abandonment? Each of these examples shows how repeating what we're told distances us from our essence and steals our freedom. In this video, you will learn how to identify moments when you are just repeating what was imposed without truly reflecting or feeling it. Why this automatic repetition is a real danger to your emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom. Concrete steps to awaken consciousness and start thinking, feeling, and acting for yourself. How Mary Esther Harding's teachings help rescue the inner voice and strengthen the freedom of female consciousness. It's important to remember, freedom begins the moment you choose to stop being an echo and become the original voice of your own existence. If this video has reached you, maybe it's because there's a seed inside you that wants to grow, a voice that wants to be heard, even if it's been silenced for a long time. Don't ignore this call of the soul. The path to freedom begins with a simple but powerful step: questioning everything you were taught to repeat and starting to choose for yourself who you want to be. This is the most important revolution, the one that happens inside you. Remember, freedom is not synonymous with doing whatever you want without limits. Freedom is the ability to act in harmony with your deepest truth, the one born from reflection, self-knowledge, and self-love. And for that, you need courage to say no when the world wants you to say yes. Courage to choose different paths, to break patterns, to face the fear of loneliness and judgment. And that courage, my friend, is revolutionary. It is in it that transformation lives. So if this text touched something inside you, share it with someone who needs to awaken to their own freedom. And remember, the greatest revolution begins with the decision to be faithful to yourself.